Special operations in Ukraine troops claim that the assault on Russia's Black Sea Fleet's command centers scores of people killed and injured, top leadership included. A new video is also being seen. Current black smoke coming from the structure in the wake of the attack. Spec Ops forces say that the blow was timed to hit as well. Key officials in Russia's navy were gathered. As Ukraine proceeds, an assault occurs. Its offensive response to the Russian military. The Ukrainians undoubtedly hold this belief. They have some forward motion pursuing them. In reality, I was able to recline, together with the in-charge general from Ukraine's southern counteroffensive, and he agreed that they were nearing a little breakthrough. There is a town there. But naturally, even today, there is still a long way for them to go. However, he said that strike on the Black Sea Fleet's Russian headquarters naval force was crucial to their development. He stated the following: smoke is exhaled from the Black Sea of Russia. Sebastopol is home to the fleet's command. Moscow accuses Ukraine of firing cruise missiles are fired. Kiev's only affirmation: they strike the structure. I had a conversation with the leading general. Due to Ukraine's counteroffensive, Vladimir Tarkovsky lives in the south. He also informs me that these kinds of attacks are crucial for his soldiers, as the first commander and as a strict directive by way of a broken command connection. Moreover, if no command is given, no concerted action is taken. Damage to infrastructure, such as facilities, bases and warehouses armed with weapons are also important for success. Just these last several weeks, Ukrainians claim they struck a Russian vessel at a submersible airport with an air-surface missile defense system in occupied Crimea. Ukraine's president continues to confront many Republican legislators and the public about the United States, continues to support Ukraine, requesting tolerance. The Nazis are not mentioned, the United States did as well, but we are working toward the same objective, the emancipation of our lands. Against all odds, yes, we'll go on with our job. I also want to thank the doubters. Their commentary also affects the outcome of our assignment. In the slow struggle for Ukrainians within the Southern Front, progress has been slow thus far. However, the query is, do you believe that there will come a time? When will the main push occur yet on whether or not to trust that? And this point, in my opinion, will be Tokamak. They depend on the depth of the water there on the offensive line. I fear more about the kind of way we can learn more about the intersection. The minefields have 3 lines among the 3 lines. However, the United States has advised that it could already be too late as autumn advances, creating this earth that is wet and tough to move. What do you estimate that you are capable of before the onset of winter? How far do you believe your troops will go? Could get truthfully before with 30 years left, do you move? This weather may be a significant challenge while making a move, but taking into account how we go without utilizing cars too much. The weather, in my opinion, will significantly impact the offensive response. Gen. Aronofsky claims he continues to be upbeat that the attack by Ukraine will be prosperous, particularly if Ukraine's campaign is ongoing, concentrating on the backs of Russian troops in Crimea, the general in charge of the Ukrainian southern counteroffensive. Additionally, he said that the strike on the corporate office's Black Sea Fleet was highly significant to increase his soldiers' morale, that they were engaged in field combat. And he said that it was quite crucial, because he is convinced, aches a lot. Retired Army Brigadier General Mark Kimmett, a brigadier, he was the former, State Department assistant due to the political president's handling of the military Bush. George W. Greetings, General Fred. Do you think that the Russian defenses seem to be in place? Were taken by surprise by the assault, and how demoralizing this is. They were, after all, taken unaware. I mean, the possibility that you are allowing such a large headquarters to be struck without any air defense or barriers to it shows a remarkable decline in operational security, which will have an impact. As the general said, I believe likewise. Fred stated it will raise morale. Ukraine's citizens and the Russians' morale might suffer as a result. However, I do not believe it is going to have major implications alone. But there's also that very intriguing thing. Then there's a very intriguing change on the front lines, something I believe is to be a part of. Moreover, even if senior management was perhaps slain or damaged as a result of such a hit, the best armies usually have personnel who may take over for leaders. That is how war works. Leaders are murdered. Someone must be willing to take the lead. I'm good. You may. President of Ukraine this week. Zelensky visited Capitol Hill. He was attempting to support U.S. assistance in Congress. Is that what you expected? That the U.S. back on the financial arsenal, Ukraine will melt as an election year approaches? If so, then will that eventually happen? Result in the president's defeat, said Zelensky. He spoke they'll lose the conflict. In the event that the U.S. supports, well, I don't believe we're going anywhere. To see declining support, I just believe that this government needs to provide a stronger argument. Likewise, President Zelensky, and he seems to be doing that right now. This little change that I'm seeing, it's very fascinating. We observe fewer and less attention on the floor Ukrainian assault in response and increasing activity in opposition to the naval troops at Sivan when this strikes versus the naval location of the headquarters. Thus, it's extremely possible The change on the battlefield, maybe instead of just Ukraine, by concentrating on Crimea, will undoubtedly boost morale in the Ukrainian military. But I believe it will also prove to the allies in the West that progress is being made on the floor. There is development created on the earth. It's not necessary in the north, but undoubtedly what is taking place in Crimea. On the ground at the scene, the modern U.S. bundle of help from Ukraine would comprise disputed cluster bombs. Will it really matter that much? Actually, no. Cluster bombs have been used, being employed by both parties, quite some time ago, for around 6 months. What will change things? This announcement also means that we will begin using the missile's long-range assault. It will have an impact on the field of combat. I'm good. Now let me change the gears for the Middle Eastern region. Israel's topped the rev. Benjamin Netanyahu said last week that Israel is nearing an agreement on normalization about Saudi Arabia. Do you think a deal will happen? I believe that it is feasible. I believe that to be probable because I believe Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United States have a similar objective to reverse history, a quantum jump to achieve another significant step toward peace. One of these was the Abrahamic Covenant. With regard to the U.S., we now have a chance to compare the United States to fundamentally alter the Middle East. So, General, would such an arrangement be feasible? Drastically alter how things stand in the Middle East? Now, I believe in the Netanyahu discussion was quite crucial, but what's more crucial is the conversation between Mohammed bin Salman and the Saudi Arabian monarch's crown prince. He changed the policy more broadly, in my opinion, than any further Saudi ruler, as 50 years ago. The reality Saudi Arabia is, at this time, tolerant of normalcy. Israel has long desired peace, if the circumstances are favorable, to normalize involving Saudi Arabia. Yet this adaptability shown by Mohammed Salman to the extent of rapprochement with Israelis is quite important. In actuality, it may result in, as President Hamilton added, a positive relationship among the two nations in a manner unheard of previously. If you love the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.